and welcome back to Gear Up, Marni on the Move podcast series where I, Marni Salup, review and recommend all kinds of gear from the worlds of running, triathlon, cycling, and wellness. All the things I love when I'm not recording the Marni on the Move podcast. I'm a recreational runner, an age group triathlete, an avid cyclist, and a wellness biohacker. I love exploring and trying new things when it comes to wellness. When it comes to running and triathlon, I'm definitely out there doing my best, trying my hardest, but I also don't take myself that seriously. I'm not competing to be top 3 in my age group anymore. I used to when I first started. And when it comes to running, I'm a heel striker. I love it. I'm out there having fun. I like to be faster. I'm not always faster. It just depends on the run, it depends on the day, it depends on the time of year. I've been doing triathlon, cycling, and running events for nearly 2 decades. And I've got to say, I've done about 25 to 30 half marathons. I've done 1 marathon. I was supposed to do another marathon this year, but as luck would have it, I just recently sprained my ankle. But I plan to get into the marathon world for 2025. Hopefully I can get into some spring marathons and races and do some summer events and get back to my usual 70.3 distance triathlon. For now, I'm doing shorter runs, swimming, cycling, and kind of just dialing in here to test the shoes and have fun. I might even add some centuries to my list this year. Here on Gear Up, I talk a lot about running shoes, and when I do talk about running shoes, I talk about them from the perspective of both a triathlete and a runner. So over here on Gear Up, you're going to hear about what it's like to run in the same pair of shoes you might just do a marathon in off the bike. Because in triathlon, you either are doing a 56-mile bike ride or a 112-mile bike ride, and then you have to get off the bike and slide into a pair of running shoes and then run. And your legs are basically dead. They're shot. And so between having already done a swim and a bike ride, and now you're gonna try to put on a pair of shoes and then run in them, it's a very different experience than waking up in the morning, lacing up your shoes and going out for a run. And even if it's a race, it's just a totally different thing. So that's what I'm bringing to the mix over here on my running shoe reviews. But we also on Gear Up have lots of great reviews about cycling shoes, helmets, wheels, bikes, triathlon stuff, triathlon races, gear, swimming goggles, and of course the latest and greatest in all things wellness. All right, let's get into it. Full disclosure, Nike did not pay me for this review. They did send me the shoes for review here on the YouTube channel, and also I have an audio podcast with 500 episodes, and I've been doing this for 5 years. So we may be new to the shoe reviews, but not to reviewing shoes. I'm really excited to share my thoughts on these shoes now that I've logged 30 miles in them. I think the entire world knows about Nike Alphafly, right? I mean, they know about the Zoom foam technology. Everyone knows about the Nike Alphafly shoes, and these are the Alphafly 3s. The Nike Alphafly is the pioneering, game-changing shoe that really leveled up the playing field for footwear and carbon-plated shoes in and across the running and triathlon scene. With that, I will say that I, until last year, had not run in Nike shoes for about, 20 years, which is kind of embarrassing because they're like the most popular shoes. Everybody loves them. These are like a collector's item. They're like Jordans. If you collect sneakers or you're a sneakerhead, I might be a sneakerhead, these are amazing. They're beautiful. I mean, forget about the functionality. Like, the design is over the top amazing, every pair. Okay, but back to the Nike Alphafly 3s and my experience. I had a great experience overall, and I really like them. And I enjoy running in them tremendously and will continue running in them if I have a manageable short distance where there's no way on the planet that I could trip on a sidewalk, that I could step into a pothole or anything like that, because my feet are not super narrow and I'm very clumsy. And so While I would love to get to a place where my ankles were strong enough and I could wear these shoes for a marathon because they're so fast, I just don't know if they're my marathon shoe. They are definitely in my quiver as a tempo shoe or for speed work. They are awesome. I definitely had to size up in these shoes. I'm normally a 7.5, and because my second toe is bigger than my first toe, and we're not gonna talk about my toes beyond that, I needed to get a bigger, half size bigger in the shoes so that I could run in them. Even if I wasn't racing in them, I need to size up. And that's not exclusive to Nike. Every shoe that I wear, I've had to now size up if it's a race shoe. If it's a daily trainer, I'm kind of fine in a 7.5, but also like I'm running in the summer testing these shoes, and then in the winter it could be colder, but overall race shoes, I size up half a size. When I first tried these shoes, it was a totally different experience than any shoe I've ever run in. I felt like I was running in high heels. And like I said, I don't have a narrow foot. So it was a little bit different for me to run in these shoes since I'm used to having more support underneath my heel, and I'm a heel striker. So I was kind of like, okay, but as I ran in them and as I did some longer runs, I could really feel their strength and where they make a huge difference for runners. Another thing I love about the Alphaflys is that, and especially like the Alphafly 3s, because they're the only Alphaflys I've ever tried, was that you can hear them coming from like a few feet away. So if someone's running in them, you can hear them. So if I'm running in them, someone in front of me might hear me. I also like loud wheels and loud hubs on my bike. So I'm enjoying the popping noise that they make. I think it makes me feel like I'm running faster. I guess it just depends on the terrain, right? But all in, they are pretty awesome. And I know I'm not the only one who thinks so. I've come a long way with these shoes. When I first tried them on, as I mentioned, I'm like super uncoordinated. And so it was a big learning curve for me to run in them. But once I started logging all the miles and getting into them, I really like them. I still don't feel like they're my marathon shoe. I would do a half marathon in them, and I definitely am doing tempo work in them. On the bandwagon, drinking the Kool-Aid, I'm a Nike Alphafly 3 fan. And I think they're for everyone. When I first got them, I thought maybe they're not for me because I don't have the narrow foot and I like more support under my foot, and I'm a heel striker, but they really are a great shoe. Off the bike, very different story for me. Now, I just interviewed Danielle Lewis, who's a professional triathlete. She's on her way to Nice, and she is a Nike Alphafly big fan. Like, not sponsored by the brand, loves the shoes. Her husband is a sneakerhead, and she is just a Nike Alphafly lover. I find it's really hard to slide your foot into because of the heel cup and the laces, and just generally the heel counter. It's not my jam for a tri shoe, but I get it. It's a fast shoe. So if you can get your foot in easily, maybe you have elastic laces for a triathlon, like bungee cord laces, and you have them open and ready to put your foot in, great. The shoes have this, so you can like hold on to this and slip your foot in, but I actually would rip this and it would be too hard for me to slide my foot into. And Danielle Lewis, however, loves them as a tri shoe. And she's done 70.3 and Ironman World Championships. And so, again, it's totally personal, like what you need. For me, I just need a different kind of shoe for triathlon that's easy to slide my foot into. I even had some issues when I was running in the Rocket X2s, which is my go-to shoe to run in for the half marathon distance. And I've often had trouble sliding my foot in there, but it was a lot easier than getting your foot into the Nike Alphafly. Let's talk tech specs. The Alphaflys are definitely designed to be a marathon or half marathon speed shoe. They push you beyond what you think is possible. They have 3 innovative technologies that really power your run. They have a double dose of air zoom units to help launch you into your next step, a full-length carbon fiber plate that helps propel you forward with ease, and the heel-to-toe ZoomX foam midsole, which keeps you fresh from start to 26.2. You get extra energy return for your marathon with the 2 4-foot Air Zoom units combined with the Zoom X foam, which stores and returns the energy back to you in every step. The full-length carbon fiber plate delivers a propulsive sensation that helps you smoothly transition through every stride and tackle turns with confidence. I cannot tackle turns with confidence. The cushioned ride. I love this about this shoe. It is fully connected Zoom X foam creates an ultralight, super cushion feel, helping you feel fresh, comfortable the entire distance. What's new about the Alphafly 3 is that this is Nike's lightest Alphafly ever. It features a slightly wider carbon fiber plate for increased stability, which was probably why I like the Alphafly 3s. And in the past, when I've tried an Alphafly, it never really worked for me. A fully connected Zoom X foam midsole for the smooth transitions, and an all-new Atom Knit upper designed for improved multi-directional containment and breathability. Some other benefits in the tech specs are the notched laces, which offer a secure but soft lace up, the integrated knit tongue with lofted padding, which helps alleviate the lace pressure, so no rubbing on the tops of your feet. The shoes weigh in at approximately 6.1 ounces for a women's US 8. The heel to toe drop is 8 millimeters. Shoes offered in 3 colors for women. It's $285. The men's Alphafly come in 3 colors as well and weigh in at 7.6 ounces for a men's US 10. Now that we've talked tech specs, I'd love to hear your thoughts. DM me in the comments. Let me know if you've run in the Alphafly 3s, if you're collecting them like me. And yeah, just hit me up and let me know what you think. All in all, I think these shoes are amazing and awesome and super fun. They work for you for a marathon. I think it's a great investment in a race shoe. When I get a nice race shoe that I want to save for racing, I don't run in them every day. I take them out for a few runs, and then I also keep an Excel spreadsheet of how many miles I've logged on each shoe, but obviously now Strava does that. You can just put your shoe in for each race, and then you can tell Strava when you want to be notified about how many miles you've run in a shoe. I think race shoes definitely don't last as long as daily trainers, so you'll start to feel it in the shoe when it loses its edge. This shoe is like no other shoe. I haven't ever run in another shoe like the Nike Alphaflys. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to watch our other shoe and gear reviews, watch our podcast episodes on YouTube, or listen to them wherever you get your podcasts. All right, see you next time. Over and out.